Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushua. I'm Shaquat Ra'im from Light of the Gentiles camp. I also like to give double honors to the elders of GMS, the apostles of GMS, and all you Akiams that's pushing this truth out in sincerity and in truth. All right. This is a concept that came to mind about the gentrification wars, that's been stirring up. All right. I have an article here. Hipsters bashing in California. Angry residents fight back against gentrification. Okay. In a state where house prices are twice the United States average, artists and developers are feeling the ire of a growing movement to defend our homes and our culture. All right. So here's another article. Happened a few days ago. Bullet hole decor. The Brooklyn bore on the front line of the gentrification wars. All right. A venue advertising a bullet-ridden wall has caused outrage in Crown Heights in Brooklyn, which residents accusing the owner of insensitive stereotyping, okay, of so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans. Despite rapid gentrification, the realities of routine gang violence and its costs remain vivid in the Crown Heights area of Brooklyn, New York. So it was perhaps unwise for Becca Brennan, a 31-year-old former corporate tax attorney from Toronto, to use the 2 terms of thug life to promote Summer Hill, her new boozy sandwich spot in traditionally a so-called Jewish and so-called West Indian neighborhood. Okay? Which, they could do that, they've been set up since they were young to get good credit, they've been set up, that's Esau, the so-called, white people, all right? And the other nations too. I have another article here, grousing about Soha, a ignorant to Harlem history. Okay? It says here, let me get a little bit bigger. The recent tempest in a teapot over the rebranding of Southern Harlem as Soha is a reminder that New Yorkers are still not ready to confront the realities of race. Okay? Many locals worry that the rebranding of Harlem is yet the latest effort as whiting out the neighborhood. This is similar like what happened back in the days when they had their Renaissance. When Renaissance means to rebirth. Okay, when they started whitewashing everything. Okay? While the forces of gentrification hope that a name change will help the area below 125th Street regain its formal architectural glory. Okay? Let's go to an interview that Spike Lee was talking about.
It was in the early 60s. My mother told my father, I want to stop paying rent. So we bought our brownstone of Fort Greene. Now I'm talking about when the fort was the fort.
Right. Murder Ave.
Murder Ave. That's when the L was one up and down right. Myrtle Avenue. We bought a brownstone in Fort Greene, facing Fort Greene Park for $40,000. Now, my father's a jazz musician, great jazz musician. He did music for my film. She's Gotta Have It, School Days, wrote all those songs, School Days, Do the Right Thing, Mo Better. He's been playing jazz in our house since 1968. Some new people move in, and they call it...
That new people that move in, That would be so-called Amalek, so-called Jewish people. All right.
There's in the paper like 2 weeks ago. New people move in, calling the cops on my father. Damn. Saying he's playing the music too loud. It wasn't too loud back in 1968. What about those brothers? Those brothers play African drums in Mount Morris Park. 4 decades. Every Sunday. African drums. Guess what? No more.
No more. Why not? Because gentrification, you know what I mean? The people, Esau, which is the so-called white people, and the other nations too, the Arabs, so-called Arabs, so-called Asians, that's moving in, that's gonna start changing up the culture, changing up the area, changing up the scenery over there, you know, and that's what's gonna stir up Jake. You know, which is the so-called African Americans and the so-called West Indians, Haitians, Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, you know, so-called Jamaicans. All right. Let's get into some scriptures. Yeah. This is Genesis 49:8. Judah, thou art he whom thy brethren shall praise. Why? Because Judah is the head tribe of the southern kingdom. Okay? Judah is the so-called Negroes, so-called African Americans. All right? They shall let me show you picture. Judah, the so-called Negroes. Okay? Benjamin, the so-called West Indians, Jamaicans, Trinidadians, Guyanese. Levi, the so-called Haitians. Simeon, the so-called Dominicans. Zebulun, the so-called Panamanians. Ephraim, the so-called Puerto Ricans. Manasseh, the so-called Cubans. Gad, the so-called North American Indians. Reuben, the so-called Seminole Indians. Naphtali, Argentina and Chile. Asher, Guatemala to Uruguay. Issachar, the so-called Mexicans. All right, this is their biblical names. Right over here on the left, and on the right, this is their slave names. Okay? That's why we say so-called. All right? Let's get back. Genesis 4:9. Excuse me, 49:8. Thy hand shall be in the neck of thy enemies. You know, that time when Jake, when these so-called African Americans, so-called blacks, Hispanics, when they see that this gentrification is going on, and they see Esau, so-called white people, so-called Arab people, so-called Asian people are getting fat and they're hungry, you know, something's gonna stir up in them. You know, that's when. Let me read on. Thy father's children shall bow down before thee. Okay, meaning that the other tribes they're gonna get stirred up too. All right, because we basically Judah is the so-called African Americans. They're basically the trendsetters. Okay, and the other tribes we follow Judah because he's the leader. All right, which our Lord also sprang out of Judah. Okay, Yahushua, who people ignorantly call Jesus Christ. He was from the tribe of Judah. All right? Let's go. This is Genesis 49:9. Judah is a lion's whelp. Let's look up the word whelp. Whelp. Whelp is like young of a dog. Okay. Also applied to young and wild animals. Okay, so basically it just means like a young lion. Okay. And Judah, you know, back in the days, you know, with the whole movement, that whole Black Panther, we was more like, it was more like a movement, you know, it was more like serious. Okay, now this little Black Lives Matter, that's nothing. That's a joke. Okay? From the prey, my son, thou art gone up. He stooped down, he crouched as a lion, and as an old lion, who shall rouse him up? So the people that's gonna rise him up is the other nations, the heathen nations. Once Jake see that these heathen nations they're progressing, you know, they're getting fat, they giving their kids inheritances and all that, you know, good credit and all that. They're able to get loans and everything like that. So that's gonna stir up Jake because there's gonna be a famine. All right, the whole economic crash. Let's go to Micah 5:8. And the remnant of Jacob shall be amongst the Gentiles, in the midst of many people, as a lion among the beasts of the forest. Okay, the remnant of Jacob. Remember, Jacob is the father of the 12 tribes of Israel, which is the people on this sign. Okay, the people on this sign right here. All right. Okay, the people on this side. All right. And notice it says, be amongst the Gentiles. The Gentiles they're talking about is the heathen nations. You know, the people not of Israel. Okay. Now they have another set of Gentiles which is the Israelite foreigners, you know, like we used to be. We didn't know that we were Israel, you know, so we have to be woken up out of sleep. Okay, be among the Gentiles in the midst of many people. So let's look up the word miss. Miss mean the middle part of stage, usually preceded by we arrive in the midst of a storm. Okay, which is going to be a storm. Let's go back. All right, we're going to be in the midst of the other heathen nations. That's why we're gonna be able to get close to them, to put our hands on their necks, you know, which we not gonna do, cause we know better. But the other, the 2/3, they're gonna do that. All right.